I want to talk about some remedies or homeopathic solutions that I have had to use over a long period of time because I have diabetes, and my diabetes was just type 2 for a very long time, and then about 7, 8, 10 years ago it became type 1. I have to take two different kinds of insulin. So I have a lot of the symptoms and problems that diabetics have. Well, I like herbs and remedies that they're like a cure-all. Like you take the aspirin and the pain is gone. Something like that. It's stuff that just puts an end to it. One of the things that bother me a lot is like fatigue, and I think it's because of antioxidants, and also the internal organs like pancreas or kidneys, they don't work very well after a while with diabetes. Well, the other day I use raw garlic a lot, but the way I take it is I cut it up like one of the what they call it, the cloves, and then I take a little chunk of it and put it in my mouth. I think something happens when the garlic interacts with the saliva. Anyhow, as soon as I had that, all my fatigue was gone, and I was reading up on it. It kills germs, it kills viruses, and also it helps the pancreas and the kidneys. It has a lot of other what they call it, functions that help the internal organs or the sexual functions. I think it's aphrodisiac too. The other herb I like a lot is cumin, but I like oil of cumin, which they call black seed oil. And there is a saying attributed to Prophet Muhammad that he said that black seed oil cures all body diseases. It has been used for a very long time, and I like those kinds of herbs that they just cure, or they're like a panacea for all kinds of stuff. And the other one that I like a lot, I just discovered it last year, is Himalayan salt, or the Celtic salt is kind of similar, or Mediterranean salt. And I guess the human body really is very hungry for trace minerals that are in a form that were used like by bacteria, and these bacteria or plankton or whatever that were in the sea, they died, and these ions or metals or copper or zinc, they are not in the molecular form, they're in the ionic form, which is like a one single atom. I think this is really something that the body really craves for, these, because they readily become absorbed, and there's all kinds of little places in the body that they're looking for these things. I guess they are making almost out of these Himalayan salts. Anyhow, what the thing is that when the body is missing something, it's like you are going on have you seen those cars that have a standard gears, and you're going on the 50 miles an hour on the second gear? The car is like, there's all kinds of friction and crap is going on because it's struggling to look for this stuff that is missing, and it doesn't really function very well, or it has antioxidants that that is trying to get rid of. Well, another thing that I like a lot is vitamin C that usually comes from citrus or from lime or lemon juice. That really, when I when I when I drink a little bit of lime, as soon as it hits your tongue, you know that it's like has a charge in it. It just kind of, the body knows exactly what it's missing. It's like it wakes up. Oh my God, this is what I was looking for. Well, another thing that I like a lot is ginseng, and ginseng. There's a lot of proteins the body doesn't make when you get older, but the ginseng, some plants, especially some mushrooms, they have these reishi mushrooms or lion's mane or cordyceps. They're packed with these things, and also stuff that like radishes, that are part of the plant but they're in the soil. Well, they are they are not dedicated to growing the plant. Mostly they're like a storage for the stuff that the plant can readily get from the soil, and so they're packed with all kinds of stuff that the body doesn't usually find in regular food or even green leaves. There is another equivalent to ginseng. It's called ginestoma or geogalan, something like that, and it has a lot of it's packed with a lot of amino acids, but less than ginseng. Ginseng is less than geogalan or ginestoma. Ginestoma has a lot of stuff that's really is like has a big punch, a lot of amino acids or proteins. Well, I was very tired and had a lot of fatigue, and I bought myself a strainer, and in the strainer I put usually Earl Grey, and have some hot water and make tea. This is when I don't want any other taste besides the really good tea like Earl Grey. But I want to read you this list, and I have a little spoon that I got from companies that sell nootropics, and this spoon, it only picks up like a pinch, a very small amount, and then I usually buy these herbs as a powder, because when has been crushed or mechanically, it damages the cell walls in the herb, so the internal goodies of the cells, they ooze out. So when you put hot water on them, all that stuff comes out into your tea. So I usually, I had some in my tea, and I had to put a lot of sweet and low or sweetener in it, because when I do it initially, it tastes like a broth. It kind of has doesn't have a tea taste. It's thicker, and you're gonna have to kind of drink it in sips. I drink a lot of it at a time, but on the second or the third straining of the strainer, or when I put more hot water for the next cups, it becomes more tolerable. But the first cup is really important because all the goodies have oozed out in the first cup. So I usually try to drink all of the first cup, and the subsequent cups, or the third or the fourth. After the fourth, I stop. But the fourth, uh, all the nutrients, all the goodies have gone. So I put a pinch of sage. It has a lot of medicinal properties. Thyme, Damiano. I buy it like an ounce. Is usually like $4 or $5 off of eBay. It has a lot of property. It has some mild psychedelic effects. I buy bay leaf powder, not the leaf itself. I buy clip dagger, which has psychedelic qualities to it, and the valerian root, and a little bit of saffron. Saffron, I use a little bit of it, and the ones I got, they are not like American or South American saffron. They're very good saffron, and also very expensive. My mother or my sister sent it from Iran, and once you see that, it has a completely different smell. You know right away this is very good saffron. But the thing that saffron does is like an antidepressant. It's like St. John's wort. Well, actually, I have St. John's wort too, in powder form. I'm gonna look for it because I have a lot of herbs. See where I put it. I do this. I have other herbs with other ones, but I try not to get too radical with the tea. Well, I had the first cup, and I was very fatigued. So when I took the first cup, I had a great sleep, and also I have very nice dreams, very entertaining. It's like there is a name for this. They call it. I gotta remember it. I had about 2 or 3 very nice dreams. Usually with Damiano, if you think about something or someone, and then you have this tea, then at the end, or when you're sleeping, you're gonna see that thing or that someone. They're gonna come in your sleep, and I guess the Indians, they use Damiano to find lost stuff, like if you lost the key, or I don't know. That's what the description says. But when I drank this tea, your body knows. Oh my God, like it hits, and you feel like so rejuvenated. And the saffron, it is like antidepressant. You lose your depression. But if the body is missing a lot of minerals and vitamin C is so important. If it has a kind of depression, which is not because of stuff that's happening around you or because of your mental function, is depression and fatigue, which is depression is the mental side of fatigue. The body is struggling to get those nutrients or those elements, and it becomes a mental problem, or it's a low level depression or feeling down, something like that. Then there are, well, when I go to the temple, I know this. With me and my diabetes, when I relax, my blood sugar drops like a rock, like 100 points. And I know this because at the end of jalasa or the meeting, I'm running by the door to grab candy, whatever I can find, dates or pastry, because the sugar has come down. Well, when I'm out of there, I have much more trouble relaxing. Well, there are other ways to get there, but it's never so pronounced. Like I know this is what happens over there, because there is a bond, there is a, I don't know, there is some inner kind of trust or relaxation, and the body just totally knows it. So your body totally listens to your mental functions or whatever that's going on upstairs. So there is a philosophy of KISS, which is keep it simple, stupid philosophy of living. Is not to engage in things that make you worry or they are very complex, because the brain then allocates all this effort to resolving these unresolved problems. Then another philosophy is that you have to be your own best friend, and you don't need love to come in from outside or attention, because you are a complete being. You don't need all that stuff. And when you realize this, then you can relax more. I don't know, you have to be practitioner of yoga or certain kind of yoga or meditation to find out that you're not really that needy. You don't really need other people that much. But hey, that's a viewpoint. Let's see what I buy a lot of nootropics. There is a drink that my mom makes, and she thinks that this keeps her young. She looks like 40. She's 77, and this is I make a cup full of V8, and I add a teaspoon of ginger, teaspoon of cinnamon, and a teaspoon of turmeric. Turmeric has a lot of properties. I add a lot of other stuff to this drink, but those are the main ingredients. And when I take that drink, my God, it's like the body comes back on. It kicks in. And this is what I like about some herbs, that they have a lot of medicinal properties. Well, turmeric has a lot of stuff that helps the nerves, and it helps mental functions or the brain. And I think that it will help with Alzheimer and diseases that have to do with brain. Well, I do B12, and but taking these good herbs, I think my needs for vitamins are met. But hey, there is a herb. It's called bright eye for people who are diabetic, because they have issues with eye after a while. So I take that with this drink, and also there is another one that helps the prostate. I gotta remember that one. Anyhow, thank you very much. And there is so many other herbs that help. Cordyceps, and lion mane, and some mushrooms. They have a lot of impact. Thank you very much for being my YouTube channel. Please subscribe and leave a message.